Good evening. So happy to see you. I'm Leah Ruekberg, your host, and I'm happy to welcome you to Holidays, Best, Worst, and Most Memorable. All holidays are based around stories, and of course we tell those big archetypal stories over and over again. But equally important are those little stories that we tell around the dining room table, and sometimes just the stories that we share around circles of intimate friends. But all of these stories are a part of what makes us human. So tonight we're going to share our own specific memories around the holidays, and I think you're going to find something here that you can relate to as well. Okay, welcome back.
I'm still standing here because I have the pleasure to introduce your last speaker, who's our producer and host, Leah, who also was in charge of all those great cookies and glasses of wine that you enjoyed. Leah Ruekberg, producer of StoriesRoc, is a teacher, writer, reader, storyteller, dream work leader, and grandmother. She could have put that first. She's been a story enthusiast all her life and is never happier than when she is able to serve as a story midwife, listening a story into being. Tonight, she will read Hidden Treasures.
Hannah, my sister-in-law, had coveted one for 46 years. In Christmas 2010, my brother-in-law, Nathan, conspired to give her one. It seemed an odd gift. I hadn't known that she liked music. My husband David explained that she had played the cello in the Churchville Elementary Orchestra when she was 10, was told she had real talent. But her family had no money to rent an instrument. Her dream was crushed. Instead, Hannah had bulldozed brush, dug fence post holes, chased cows, and tamed horses. With Trojan determination, she had built a log cabin, stacked wood, and kept the stove burning. She worked all day at RIT and attended night school for 12 years to earn a bachelor's degree while raising 2 children and sending them both to Geneseo to earn theirs in 4. Her kinked, dark hair and ebony skin were now looking a little wan. Christmas had never been her favorite holiday. Raised Jehovah's Witness, her family didn't celebrate birthdays or holidays. But in 1970, she married a Ruekberg, who was all about holidays and tradition. And Christmas was the occasion for 2 sacred Ruekberg traditions. One, honoring both the gift and the giver by opening presents one at a time, and 2, at least one treasure hunt. The first tradition means that the youngest person must twirl around 3 times with eyes closed and touch a present. Cheaters who peek are reprimanded and told to put the gift back and twirl again. She opens her eyes, delivers the gift to the receiver, and everyone watches while the gift is opened. And after the oohs and ahs, the receiver thanks the giver with a hug and some words of appreciation, and then on up the line from youngest to oldest. The excess lasts all day. David's sister Beth, the self-anointed prankster, started the second sacred tradition, the treasure hunt. Every year, one person receives a decorated package only to find a riddle inside, indicating a particular kind of search for an object. Here she'll find another riddle, which will lead to the next. And the really good treasure hunts always involve pulling on boots and parkas and running out to the barn and then up and down stairs several times. The final clue will always bring the person back to the family circle where the real gift is waiting. One year, Peter brought his new wife, Beverly, to the Ruekberg family Christmas. Now, Beverly, whose ebony skin is always adorned by Lord & Taylor, perfectly styled hair, and elegant jewelry, also has manners that are Ann Landers correct. Beth, no pranks, Peter warned. But that, of course, was an invitation. After traipsing all over the house, solving riddles, she returned to her chair to find a beautifully wrapped gift with gold ribbon. She shook it. It was heavy. She opened it and pulled out a ceramic, mint-glazed meat platter with a broken handle. No one said a word. Beverly played it straight. Thank you, Beth. After snorting with laughter, Beth explained that she had found the hidden treasure in their mother's attic, simply labeled Uncle Don's platter. She then reached under her chair and handed Beverly her real gift, a cashmere sweater. Another year, nephew Ben brought his girlfriend Sarah to a Ruekberg Christmas, and she too was put to the test, running all over the house and then opening one box which contained another and another, until finally she came to a small velvet ring box. Now, instead of responding with the expected shrieks of surprise and excitement, she winced and tears fell down her cheeks. "Is this some kind of joke?" she said. Ben promptly fell to his knees and asked, "Will you marry me?" A diamond ring, a tree decorated with dollars, tickets to a Yankee game, or Uncle Don's platter. One never knew. But one thing was certain. It was a test of one's mettle. Well, in 2010, family members conspired with Nathan. They hid the cello and all the accessories for 6 months, making sure that everything was delivered to our house in Pittsford on Christmas Eve. On Christmas Day, Hannah arrived in the early afternoon, after stockings, after breakfast, and after several rounds of gift giving. She sat outside the living room, looking ambivalent, tired. Beth and Peter's 2 small children had received over a dozen gifts each and were now at the point of saturation. "No!" two-year-old Bella shouted when yet another gift was offered. When Nathan gave the signal, David handed Hannah a specific package. He cheated. She opened it and held up the riddle. "Beth," she pointed an accusing finger, but smiled all the same. Beth shrugged. She read the clue about the one-holer, which took her up to the upstairs bathroom. Family members followed with cameras. Meanwhile, on the main floor, Beth and Becca, her daughter, dashed into David's office to get the cello. Becca had draped the case with a beautiful ribbon and a bow. They carried it into the living room. "No," Nathan insisted. "It has to be out of the case." So they hauled it back into the office and closed the door. Well, upstairs, in the bathroom, Hannah found the second clue, something about milk, which took her back downstairs to the kitchen on the main floor, and she opened the refrigerator. Well, back in the office, David and Becca removed the ribbon and the padded case. Not an easy task. The milk carton had the third clue attached, and it was something about a quilt. So Hannah went back upstairs to the master bedroom. Back in the office, Nathan came inside. "Where's the stand?" he asked. "It's in the box beside the recliner," David answered. "Well, go get it. The cello has to be in the stand," Nathan insisted. "I can't get it and set it up in 30 seconds. "Oh, I guess we'll have to lean it up against something," Nathan conceded, looking dejected. Hannah was laughing, coming back down the stairs with her entourage. Becca, Nathan, and David froze in the entryway, smiling innocently as she passed by and opened the door to the basement. While she was in the basement, the trio of conspirators worked furiously to set up the cello in the living room, resting it against a chair. Becca reattached the ribbon, tying it with a large bow. "Where's the music?" Nathan hissed. "What music?" David asked. "Well, it's in the case, in the pocket," Nathan exclaimed. So David raced back to the office. He patted the pocket of the soft case. He could feel the music book, but he couldn't figure out how to get to the hidden pocket. "Where's the music stand?" Nathan asked Becca. "Under the tree. I wrapped it." "The music has to be on the stand." Becca rolled her eyes, but unearthed the package, tore the paper off, opened the box, and placed the stand next to the cello. We could hear Hannah laughing coming back up the stairs. "Keep her in the basement," Nathan shouted. I flipped the lock on the top of the stairs just in time and heard fierce pounding on the other side. "What are you up to?" Hannah yelled. David finally found the hidden pocket and the music book. Nathan arranged the music on the stand and tried to balance the bow across the string. It kept falling. "Keep her down there!" "Nathan, open the door!" It was a Marx Brothers moment. Nathan stood back. The cello was leaning against the chair. The music book was on the stand, open to the first song. The bow was balanced across the strings, and the ribbon was in place. "Now," he whispered, and he stood back out of the way. I unlocked the basement door and then ran through the kitchen and around the corner so I could see her face when she saw her gift. Hannah rounded the other corner and charged into the living room. "Nathan!" she shouted. Then she saw the cello. She stopped, backed up, covered her face, doubled over, and struggled to breathe. She waved her arms in the air and staggered backwards, grabbing the railing on the stairs. Sounds like water rushing out of a closed space, squeezing forth, or some kind of morning bird song flowed out of her mouth. "I'm 10 years old." She covered her face again. "I'm sorry." She waved her arms dismissively. You don't know," she said between sobs. She seemed unable to advance toward the cello, like it might be a mirage and might disappear if she touched it. Nathan inched over behind her and wrapped his arms around her. She almost collapsed into his body. Like mannequins, we stood, barely breathing, and waited. Even the children stopped playing with toy cell phones and makeup. "I don't have happy memories from childhood," she said. "You don't know." Hannah stood, staring in disbelief. "Sit down, play something," Nathan said. And he practically carried her across the room. She sat, positioned the cello between her legs, and picked up the bow in her right hand. And as she guided it across the strings, a deep, rich sound filled the room. "Good King Wenceslas looked out." She set the bow back on the music stand and rose. Later that night, as everyone was packing up their bags of loot, getting ready to leave, Nathan guided Hannah back to her one gift. "Ready to take her home?" he asked. She ran her farmer's fingers across the belly of that cello. Her jaw stiffened. She took in a breath, held it, pressed her lips together. She nodded. Thank you again for coming. Please help yourself to more refreshment and hang around for some conversation. Good evening.